planning on putting illegal migrants under house arrest in Baltimore and Houston instead of detaining them.
Axios reporting nearly 180,000 migrants are currently in those programs being introduced to save a quick buck. Joining us now to react is Florida Congresswoman Cammack, member of the House Homeland Security Committee. First off, let's talk about this for a second, because when you look at the Biden administration, they're celebrating, this whole new, cheaper alternative to detention. But I want to know what your solutions are, because it seems like the Biden administration just thinks that they can catch them and then house them for free and it's taken care of.
Well, my solution is simple. Follow and enforce the laws that are currently on the books. We have a situation that is a crisis because of the policies of the Biden administration. We have people who are getting ankle monitors, but then cutting them off as soon as they get to their final destination within the U.S. If we enforce the laws on the books and said, no, you aren't able to come here illegally, you are not welcome here illegally, then we would actually be in a situation where we wouldn't even be having this discussion. So I think it's really simple. Build the wall, enforce the laws on the books, enforce Title 42 and the MPP policy. But we've seen that this administration is more intent on executing on a political agenda than actually following the laws.
Congresswoman, this to me looks like another way for the Biden administration to disperse migrants throughout the country. They got a lot of flack for the secret flights, so now they're doing it this way. It seems like the effect is the same, putting migrants away from the border and into communities. Right now it's in Baltimore and in Houston. How soon before this comes to a city or community near you?
Well, it's already happening. Every town in America is a border town. And I have been on countless flights where there have been migrants with paperwork. They had just come across the border and they're being sent all over the country. And of course, we see in cities like New York and other places in California, you don't even have to prove citizenship to vote. So it makes you wonder, what are the motivations of this administration where they are blatantly breaking the law, subverting the law, in sending these people all across the country? We know we had over 1.7 million people come across our borders apprehended just last year. The drugs, the crime, it's all a contributing factor to the rising crime and issues that we are having in every single community across America.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening 20 minutes from where I live, but we want to move on to this now. Liberals' beloved policy is shielding an illegal immigrant who was charged with drawing swastikas from fifth deportation. This guy was arrested for the first time in 2006. He was then deported in 2006, 2007, 2014, 2017. I mean, is this just purely the lack of enforcement as to why these people keep getting back in?
Yeah, it's a lack of enforcement, but it's also the draw. It's the magnet here. It's the message that has been sent from this administration that they do not intend to enforce the laws on the books across the board. You have so-called bail reform, which is putting dangerous criminals right back on the streets. There's no enforcement for violent crimes. There's no enforcement for major drug crimes. This is what is drawing people here, saying, well, listen, the trafficker in chief in the White House, he doesn't really care what's going on. They're focused on a social justice warrior agenda that is all about free handouts and poverty programs to trap people. That's the magnet. And so I think we need to get serious about, again, the basics. Build the wall, secure the border, enforce the laws on the books, have our law enforcement's backs. Right now we're seeing cases across the country where illegals can sue our law enforcement departments if they try to enforce the law. It's completely backwards. We've got to get our handle on this, because if we don't, we're going to lose our country as we know it.
It is shocking to me that the left, the alleged party of tolerance, bends over backwards to shield this guy who commits the most anti-Semitic of anti-Semitic acts. But that's what we are, that's where we are right now. Finally, Congresswoman, President Biden facing mounting pressure to roll back COVID restrictions after governors of 4 Democrat-run states drop masking in schools. Congresswoman, you are in the halls of Congress every day. How much of a reaction is this to the fact that, oh no, it seems that Democrats too, the voters, do not like mask mandates? We better do something as a Democratic Party, or we're going to get wiped come November.
Yeah, the hypocrisy of the left really knows no bounds. I walk around the halls of Congress every day and see my Democrat colleagues without masks, socializing in groups. I see them, avoiding those so-called rules that they have in place. But the minute a camera comes on, oh my goodness, they got to throw a mask on their face. They see this as a political issue at this point that they are losing. And if we know anything about the left, it's about dependency and control, and they'll do anything they can to follow the polling numbers. They see this as an issue where, oh my gosh, voters are actually starting to hate this policy. We better change course. We know it was never about the science. It was never about keeping people or our kids safe. And that's why they're changing, because they know now that they are going to lose on this issue. So again, it's the hypocrisy of the left. And up here in Washington, D.C., we're seeing where they don't even follow their own guidance. So glad to see it's going.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay, Congresswoman Cammack, thank you so much for your time and getting up early with us this morning. We appreciate it.